Hello there viewers and welcome to Continental Aspire Soccer. In this short audio program today, we will give you the facts and insight on young PSV, the academy of PSV Eindhoven. Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, Patrick van Aanholt, Memphis Depay, Zakaria Labiad, Steven Bergwijn, the list of graduates goes on and on. They even played a part in the career of the Brazilian Ronaldo. With this extensive research and first-hand insider knowledge, here is the story of PSV. PSV Eindhoven are located in southwestern Holland, or as the Dutch would say, Zuid-Netherlands. Moneyball pioneer Billy Beane once spoke of his admiration for Dutch football, as he was amazed how successful both the club sides and the national team were, considering the small population of Holland. This rings even more true with PSV, as in their home city of Eindhoven, it holds just under 250,000 people. That is less than most London boroughs. The small population of Eindhoven helps make it a completely different place to Ajax in Amsterdam. Because it is smaller, less people tend to go there. The lifestyle is more humble. It means players at PSV are less distracted and more focused on their career, rather than the big lights of Amsterdam and Ajax. While Ajax are considered the modern giants of the Netherlands, PSV have their own roots in European success, winning a European Cup in the late 1980s. PSV had a large pool, which was shown in 1994 when they convinced a 17-year-old Ronaldo to join them from Brazil for €5 million. This came a year after Romario left Eindhoven for Barcelona after staying in Holland for 5 years. However, as money became a bigger power play through in the 90s, early noughties and the 2010s, PSV could gradually not attract the biggest names and they had to change their tactic. They couldn't bring in the Ronaldos and Romarios, they had to start making them. In 2002, their training ground, De Herdegang, was renovated. An indoor training hall, fitness centre and canteen were added by 2003. Within another year, the youth facilities were completely renovated. This was credited to Chelsea guardian angel Gus Hiddink. The season after, in 2004-05, Gus Hiddink guided a side featuring a young Ji-sung Park and Mark van Bommel to the UEFA Champions League semi-finals, losing out to the famous star-studded Milan side after beating them 3-1 in Holland. This is up there with when Ajax almost got to the Champions League final in 2018-19 as one of the biggest highlights in Dutch footballing history. From then on, PSV have been dormant on the European stage. They have failed to make it past the quarter-final of the Europa League or UCL in the past 15 years. They also went through different financial troubles in the early 2010s. This has not stopped the club transforming their reputation though, from European giants of the past to the talent factory of now. Up until 2020, a certain type of player had begun to evolve from the Eindhoven Academy. Strong, technically gifted, powerful wingers. Memphis Depay burst from the youth ranks in 2011-12 and earned a £35 million move to Manchester United just 3 years later, after winning the Player of the Year award in Holland. In 2021, he's at Lyon, likely to move to Barcelona, and he still shows the fantastic technical ability he was still displaying in his younger days at PSV. They can be proud that they've produced arguably the best player at current for the Dutch national side. In 2011, world-class coaching were allowed inside access to PSV. They are a world-renowned group of journalists and high-level coaches. They produced a detailed account on how the club develops its talent. PSV base their training off a style of possession football and passing the ball within 1 to 2 touches of receiving it. PSV work away from dribbling too, instead working on teaching youngsters on maintaining possession. The goalkeepers are used whenever possible in outfield training drills, with the rest of the team to help them build confidence as sweeper keepers. There was heavy focus on movement off the ball, making sure that by the time players reach the age of 18, their maturity in the mental side of the game is at a senior competitive level. The younger teams are also consistently played against older opposition, making the next generation of talent better than the last. The complexity of play and intelligence instilled in the club's young players in the possession-based philosophy is really interesting. One of the big problems of youth academy football is that players can fear the shock coming into the senior side, but at PSV that's not an issue. They cannot afford this problem either. PSV don't even give contracts to players who aren't going to get into the first team, rather than the likes of Chelsea who tend to farm talent out. When they bought Ibrahima Sangare from Toulouse back in the summer of 2020, it was one of the first big purchases in a while. They're very shrewd with their money. Continental Aspire Soccer can also confirm other innovative methods that PSV use. The club looks for its coaches within the amateur leagues, helping them build up from grassroots level and on a cheaper budget. They also rotate coaches to players every 7 weeks in the youth academy to keep training fresh. While it took another 4 years for another major departure from the team following Memphis Depay, with academy boy Steven Bergwijn leaving for Tottenham in January 2019, the respect of the Eindhoven club garnered over the years is as reputable as Ajax. They now have a young, extremely talented squad of players akin to the aforementioned side of Ajax in 2018-19. In the current 2021 season, PSV are in the knockout stages of the Europa League, and they look ready to smash the curse of not making it past the quarters in European competition. Even more impressively, half of PSV's most used players in 2020-21 joined the club before the age of 19. All that training and upgrade to the training ground has finally started to bear fruit. Technically gifted and physically imposing Cody Gakpo has been with the club since he was 8 years old, and now at 21 has 5 goals and 2 assists in the Eredivisie. He clearly loved the passing drills, and no one in Holland can flick the ball to his teammates more intelligently or more quickly than the attacking midfielder. 21-year-old Jordan Teze joined at the same age, and the centre-back is a crucial cog in the second best defence in Holland. Playing against the older strikers in his youth must have done wonders for that composure he presents now. You can bet Teze will receive even more links to clubs and more public attention very soon, especially since the defender can seamlessly drop in at right back, a versatility that's common amongst all Dutch players. And finally, former Arsenal player Donyell Malen has matured into an amazing young footballer. Valued at over £20 million, the striker joined PSV as a raw, pacey forward who was quite limited. Now though, Malen shows fantastic off-the-ball movement, giving defenders nightmares with his ability to get in behind or drop between the lines. While the plan of younger players playing a base of possession has done well, PSV could be set for another revolution. Highly touted coach Roger Schmidt joined Eindhoven in March 2020. The former Leverkusen and Salzburg manager has been described by some analysts as a pressing master, and he has already got PSV playing more vertically and more directly, and thus in a more modern style of play. If Schmidt can replicate what Hiddink did in the early 2000s and gain access to the youth ranks and sprinkle his modern methods on the team, then PSV could see their talent factory double its production. We at Continental Aspire Soccer are huge fans of PSV. Our staff have visited the training complex before, and it's an incredibly humble place with everyone working very hard. You can be assured that while Ajax are enjoying the limelight, PSV are about to explode. Thank you for listening, and do not forget to subscribe to Continental Aspire Soccer.